Do you watch any?
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite performers? Do you have any favorite stars that you like?
You.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Wow.
Well, I'm friends with his ex-girlfriend, so I don't know if I should answer that.
Okay.
I think she just answered that.
Your wardrobe screams fatherless.
You have more trust in that top side than people.
How was your relationship with your father? Just saying, why did you get the attention you wanted?
You need Jesus. That's offensive. Welcome back. It is Daddy Deelz in the building. We got Spencer Michael Barrick co-hosting with me again today. And we have, is it Puya?
Pua.
Pua. I'm sorry. Pua.
It's okay. Everyone gets it wrong.
Okay. Well, very nice to meet you, Puya. So, Puya, I'm sorry.
Pua. Pua.
I'm so
P-U-A. Pua.
Telling you,
Pua.
it'll take a while. You can call me P.
It's short for Puani, right?
Yeah.
What type of, where's that from?
Hawaii.
Hawaii? Oh, Pua. You got it.
Pua.
She's an island girl.
So I'm going to start out by asking the offensive questions of the week. How many times have you had chlamydia?
Oh my god.
Da, da, da.
Twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
We've all had
In Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah.
I did in Tucson,
Tucson.
Arizona. I think chlamydia makes you cold.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, come out hot. That's a tough one, but it gets a little easier from here.
It does. It gets easier from there. Here's the thing. It's just kind of like a cold for your pussy. It's just like...
Well, I didn't even know I had it. I just got tested and it was like, boom. Like, I didn't have any symptoms, I guess.
Well, honestly, do you even fuck if you've never had chlamydia?
Probably not.
Yeah, essentially. So you're kind of lame. Loser. Are your parents aware that you're an internet whore?
No. Neither one of them are really on internet. And I've been on my own since I was 16. So.
Oh, okay. Did you get emancipated?
No, I just got kicked out.
Oh,
when I got my first place. So.
How do you get a place at 16?
So I always had older friends. I actually skipped a grade when I was younger. And one of my friends that was in the grade that I graduated with actually needed a place too. And she was 18.
Yeah.
And I was only 16. So I was like, all right, let's do it.
Wow. How can you get a job without your parents' permission?
So I was actually in a lot of trouble as a kid. So I was in a lot of placements, whatever programs. So they would set me up with jobs, and then I was also a hustler. So I would do whatever.
Did you get sent to? I got sent to a troubled teen rehab program in Utah. Yeah. Is that what you got sent to? Wilderness?
I went literally as far as you could go in the system, and then the state took custody over me. Yeah. So I was actually still in all the trouble stuff after I was already out of the house because I didn't get out till I was 17.
Okay. Wow. So we're just giving.
She's turned her life around. Now she's here. Now she's a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 'Cause, I was in some of those programs, but I went for smoking or failing one drug test for weed.
Yeah.
So it's did those programs traumatize you? Because a lot of them don't treat you like humans.
Right. Well, with me, I feel like it kind of helped me because I didn't have a home structure.
Yeah.
So whenever I was there, I was taught things that I would have not learned, you know, and kind of taught discipline and stuff like that. My younger sister, actually, I feel like she had it harder because she didn't have any proper guidance, you know?
Okay, got it. So the program that you were in, was it one that you lived at?
Yeah. So there are different ones because I did a lot of different ones.
Yeah.
But kind of what happened with you, it started off small, it's just smoking weed or whatever. But once I was in the system, I just couldn't seem to get out. So I went through teen court, drug court, 2 different placement homes, in and out of juvie. So they were just different. I guess each program was a little different.
Yeah. So now that you've turned your life around, what is it that you do now?
So right now I just do sports handicapping.
So do you do OnlyFans too?
Yeah. Well, I took a break from it because I was in a relationship for a little bit.
Okay.
But I just recently started getting back on.
She's back.
Yeah.
The bitch is back.
She's back.
I don't know why I stopped anyways. It was it wasn't like he asked me to stop. I just kind of felt like I had to.
Okay, got it. Do you think it was a controlling relationship, or do you just think you wanted to give all your time to him, or?
Yeah, well, he was a person of status or whatever. So we never had the conversation like, oh, do you have an OnlyFans? I just felt like he wouldn't like it. And so I just didn't want to chance it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you do that for another relationship in the future? No. Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Learn it.
Well, because like they have to like, I guess if somebody really loves you, they should love all of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not like, it's conditional love. Like if they're like, I would love you, but this like really turns me off. Like I've had men be like, I don't like it when you burp, and dead ass that is the last time I see them.
Yeah.
And then it was just like
you burp too. What the fuck?
no one really burps as much as I do.
Oh yeah, she's a burp box over here.
Yeah, at least I don't fart though.
Yeah, girls don't fart. So
yeah, well,
Girls don't fart or poop. I don't know how they do it. It's just they just don't.
I say this all the time.
I definitely have explosive diarrhea, like 5 times a week. Come on. But I don't fart. I will only fart if I'm like about to poop, but then I'm already on the toilet.
I thought you were gonna say when I'm about to come, I fart.
Can you imagine? No, there was only one time that I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to poop in a second, where I definitely farted, but my farts also don't smell. So like, I was like, oh my god, babe, I queefed. She was like, it didn't smell. What was he gonna say? No. It would feel like coming out of your asshole. No, it's like it feels the same if it comes like. That was in college. I was pretty smart. I was quick-witted with that.
That is smart. Yeah, you covered up the fart with the queef. That's pretty.
Because I fuck like hard and fast. Like queefing is like a pretty big part in my fuck life.
So how long are these guys, like, how long are you going for since you're hard and fast? Like you said, like 140 BPM, right? To dubstep. Like, are you just fucking wrecking these guys or what? Like, do they have a chance? Like, how long are they lasting? Since you're going fucking fast and furious on the day.
Like, they'll come usually within 5 minutes, but then if I am into this guy, we are fucking 5, 6, 7 times in a day or a night.
Solid.
So
it's a lot of fucking.
Yeah, I have like a very high sex drive once I'm like in it to win it. But like I haven't had sex in over a year. So now I have so much self-control that it's like my sex drive can be there and it also cannot be there. I can control it. But once I start having sex again, I can't stop.
Have you been with like a guy where he's like, slow down? Like I can't.
No, my vagina dries up. I will not fuck them again.
Yeah.
It's just like,
if they tell you to slow down.
Yeah. It's just not, I don't know, maybe the more work I do on myself, I'll like sensual sex, but it's just like, I want you to be throwing me across the room.
I think I'm the same way.
Is there your style? What's your fucking style? Like what turns you on? How do you like?
I just like, I don't know, like aggressive, I guess. Like I don't really have necessarily a favorite position, but like probably doggy, you know.
I love doggy. You can also go the fastest and you can help while they're helping.
Right.
But then, okay, here's the most awkward thing in the world. When you're doing doggy and all of a sudden one of you is off for them and then you have to like have, it's like a few different routes and then until you like up again.
Getting thrown forward, like not in the good way.
You got accidental anal and doggy style.
Yeah. That was your experience.
So I'm not really great with anal. So I was like, ow, stop.
Yeah,
I'm like wrong one.
Yeah, I've had some accidental, like you're going hard, fast and furious. It's like, because there's no, like, it's abrupt. It's like, it happens, especially if the girl's really wet and it's slippery and it happens.
It only happened to me once and it went up my butt and then it started bleeding, like the skin tore, and then pooping hurt for like a week, sitting hurt for a week.
Yeah.
Everything just fucking hurt.
They got really in there.
And then his friends had the nerve to call me a whore, like when they saw me at bar. And I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? Isn't your friend a whore too? Because we just fucked, like accidentally, we were supposed to go to a different pregame and I accidentally walked in the wrong apartment. He's like, oh, stay. And then we fucked.
Wait, so you just met him? He randomly walked in the apartment?
I walked into his apartment because we were supposed to go to a pregame that was across the hall.
Okay.
So then he's just like, oh, stay, because they were also pregaming. So I was like, you're cute.
Do you prefer pregame sex or like after the bar sex?
Probably after the bar, because like I feel like after I'm done having sex, like I want to like shower and like refresh and everything.
So before the
like,
bar,
go out and then have like all like
that's what quickies are. That's what quickies are good for. You get a little quickie in before you go out. You know, just
I'm down with like a little quickie.
You're not sweating. You're not getting the makeup messed up. Just sweating out.
Endorphins, just like running. You're like, oh, I don't even need drugs.
Just got some dick.
So let's see. If you had to lose your boobs or your butt, which one would you be losing?
My boobs, because like I already don't have them. So
wait, move your hair because it just
my titties back up.
Is it the shirt?
Maybe. I mean,
I feel like it looks like UFC cups. Do you not?
no, I don't think so.
Am I being?
They're nice. They're nice.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the shirt. But thank you.
Let's see the booty. Let's see the booty. Let's see the booty. Let's see the
Well,
booty.
I have jeans
I
on.
can probably see it through there.
I know jeans that they're not flattering on my butt.
There's some junk back there. There's some junk in the trunk.
So you said sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain, like, how did you get into that? How are you good at that? Are you like a fortune teller?
No, I wish. Or I would be rich. But no, I just kind of accidentally got into it. So in Hawaii, I used to gamble, but it was like more like cards or like dice.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Vegas, when I moved to Vegas, I was playing at the tables here, and I thought I figured it out.
Yeah.
And then I started losing my ass off. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to stay away from the tables. But I still wanted to gamble. So I started doing the sports betting.
Yeah.
And then with UFC, I just kind of like have been a fan forever, And so I had to kind of like learn by losing money. Like, oh, okay, don't bet on this. Don't bet on this. This is how the money lines work. Like,
okay.
And then so I started putting these parlays together, and they started hitting, and I would post it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And when COVID hit, like I needed extra money.
Yeah.
So because people were always asking me for like the picks and everything, I was like, okay, bet. Like I'm gonna make a website, maybe make a little extra money.
Yeah.
And I'll take whatever I can get. And I actually ended up doing very well with it.
So So do you make more money off the website or off betting?
It's kind of like it goes hand in hand.
Okay.
So, of course I want my picks to hit,
So she's betting the picks that she's giving other people.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Got it.
I can also like place bets for people, but not really supposed to.
Yeah, it can be like sketchy too, because if you don't know the person that you're giving money to bet, they could easily just take all your money.
And tax purposes too. Because if you're winning someone else's money, like someone's got to get taxed, and usually the person making that bet is getting.
They do have like websites that you could go through, like whatever.
Are you doing online bets too, online or just in person? Like, what's your format with that?
Online, yeah. So we have like bookie sites, but they're not technically like legal. So
it's offshore stuff.
Yeah. Well, like
what about Better? That's like Jake Paul's company, right?
Yeah.
Better. Is that legal?
I don't fully know. I don't know enough about that company to say yes or no. But I'm not really sure if they are giving picks out or if they're placing bets for people too.
Oh, I don't think they're doing either of those. I think, well, maybe. I don't know.
So UFC is your specialty, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You get some inside tips from the guys.
I try. You know what I mean? Yeah. But no, I've been trying to learn other sports, but definitely UFC is my go-to.
Okay.
No.
So if you're trying to pick out someone, like how do you do that?
I pretty much do everything. Like I'll like research any information that I can get. Like I said, like reach out to some people that I know that might be connected to them.
Mm-hmm.
See what they've been like doing different from their last fight to now, see who they fought recently compared to the other person.
Yeah.
A lot of different things.
So like when it was Jake Paul versus Silva, who did you have your money on?
But I didn't bet, like I wasn't on the Jake Paul team until his last fight, and I finally bet on him.
And they lost. Yeah.
I was like,
that was his first fight he lost, huh?
Yeah.
With who?
Fury.
Tommy Fury, yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, like why would you pick him? Like Fury's a real boxer,
But Silva was a real boxer, but also
Silva's more MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silva's not like a pure boxer.
But I only knew that Silva was gonna lose because he had a concussion like a month before the fight or something like that. So it's like
he's older too.
Yeah.
He's taken a lot of damage, but he was also one of the greatest. So yeah.
Do you do boxing stuff as well?
Not really.
So
maybe on the big fights, but I pretty much focus fight-wise on UFC. Like Bellator sometimes, but rarely.
Okay, got it.
Who's your favorite UFC fighter? Personal, not like betting-wise, like who's your favorite to watch? Like who's the most exciting to watch?
That's really hard for me. Right now, I don't know, maybe Gilbert Burns, just because he has like become so much better, and I feel like he's good on every aspect. And I like it whenever, you know, it's not just pure dominance in one, like Khabib or like, you know what I mean? Like it's all action. Like him, Oliveira.
It's a good one.
But yeah. And then they've been in the sport forever. So it's like you've seen them where they were before and where they are now, you know? So.
Do you get turned on by fighting? Yeah. Okay.
For
sure.
So
you like blood and gore and broken noses.
I'm like more.
Have you banged a UFC guy?
Have I what?
Have you banged a UFC fighter?
Yes.
What do you say? Like
We're not gonna say names, but yeah, we just have to put that out there.
What do you say? You're like a UFC groupie?
I don't know. Maybe. Like I definitely get turned on by the fact that you fight. So maybe, yeah.
Okay, so like, are you turned on by like those kind of possessive guys who'll get in fights at bars and stuff like that?
Not really, but I am turned on by a person who stands their ground and sticks up for their people.
Okay,
you know, and like knowing that if they wanted to, they would kick their ass.
Yeah.
But like a lot of fighters that I know in like normal day to day, if you meet them out, you would not even think that they're fighters. Like they're really good people and they have good morals, and you know, they're not out here like, hey, you.
Trying to fight people on the streets.
It's so funny. My boxing instructor has like one of the most gentle spirits, but then also it's like
he would kill you.
Try and kill her.
He's never lost.
Yeah.
Like, and he's from the Ukraine, never lost. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's funny because I still suck and I've been getting boxing lessons from him for a while, but like coordination, that's a hard thing to learn. Like anything with the ball growing up, I was really bad at it.
Ball smacking the thing.
My depth perception would be like so off. My focus would be so off, but it's like I could do a double front handspring doing cheerleading or like run track. It's like I have an athletic body, but coordination.
So were you more like a cheerleader or like you did that?
Cheerleading and track.
Track. What were your events in track?
Well, I never got there because my horse fell on me.
Oh God.
Horse?
Yeah, I have a video of it.
Tell us the story. What's this horse falling story?
Well, my horse's name was Nutella, and we were doing a barrel racing competition, and then the place that we were doing the competition at didn't follow regulations for wetting the dirt right. So the dirt was very slippery. So when we were going around a barrel, she fell on me twice. So at first I didn't feel it. And I was like, I'm getting back on and I'm winning because, you know, the adrenaline was pumping. And then after I won the second time that I did it, and then all of a sudden I like was standing on her and I was like, I don't know if I can get off without help. Like apparently I have 2 millimeters of missing cartilage in my hip now from her falling on this hip. And then I sprained both my ankles, both my knees. I was out for the whole track season. I just trained with him for like 3 or 4 months, but I was good at that 100-meter sprint.
Oh, so you're quick.
Yeah, I'm quick.
She rides dick fast and she runs fast too. Well,
yeah.
Athlete right here.
I tried to do hurdles and I was really bad at those. I'm so short. I don't know who thought it was a good idea for me to do them. I thought I'd be like a horse, you know? I was like a horse jumping over jumps.
More like a mini pony.
Yeah, so I was awful. I was awful at that. I should have just stuck with the sprints. And then my track coach at the time was like, if you don't throw up by the time I'm finished with you, like you're not working hard enough. So I threw up quite a few times just from him working us so hard.
Yeah.
Did you do any sports in high school?
I did soccer and diving.
Diving?
Yeah, but after I got in like all the trouble,
diving?
No,
like
swim and dive.
So like you jump from like a high little like jumping thing?
Yeah, well,
more swimming, right, than diving?
No, I did
you
diving.
Okay.
Yeah, and all the swimmers hated the divers because we gotta kind of chill, and they're like actually putting work in at practice. But yeah, I don't know. That was pretty much it. But I didn't do it all of high school because I was in trouble a lot, so I couldn't really maintain that. But I did play club soccer most of high school.
Wow. So how did you get started into OnlyFans?
I actually don't even remember how I got started in it, but like I have a lot of friends in that kind of industry, like that world, and I never really saw anything wrong with it, you know, and I still don't. You know,
extra stream of income. Like,
yeah,
I used to like. There was a lot of internalized misogyny in me that I felt like I didn't recognize, so I started taking a lot of acid. But it's like before I started on OnlyFans, it's like months and months before, it's like my whole office that I worked at would talk shit about OnlyFans girls being like, they don't have any self-respect, blah, blah, blah. So then I would always be like, I am never making an OnlyFans. I like don't want people to pay for my content. I don't want to be an object, blah, blah, blah. And I just started taking like a lot of acid, like a lot for the next few months. And then I was like, oh, actually, like it's everyone else's shame that I'm like projecting onto other people. I never shamed anyone for creating an OnlyFans. I would like ask them all the time, like, how much money are you making? Like, do you feel pressure to do this? Like, how does that feel? But it's like, I felt so much shame within myself, like that I wanted to make one, but I processed all of that through like acid, shrooms, etc.
Well, I feel like too, like it's one of those things where it's like, before you smoke weed or before you try drugs, you think it's bad. Yeah. And then when you do it, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, oh, it's really just this? Like, you know?
And I thought coke would have been the biggest deal. And then I did coke. Well, this was like before fentanyl was a thing. So I don't do coke anymore, you guys, because I don't trust drugs on the streets. But this was when you got drugs from strangers. It's like I did coke and I was like, what the fuck? I was taking ecstasy before cocaine.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I pretty much only smoke weed now, but
mushrooms?
I'll do mushrooms from time to time, but like the older that I'm getting, I just feel like I'm more scared of everything.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't like to not be in control of how I'm acting, especially around people, like other people.
Yeah.
Like even it could be like some of my good friends and I still like, it's just in my head.
That's what I feel about weed, but mushrooms, I'm like just a happier version of myself. So it's like, that's probably how you feel with weed, right? You're just like a more relaxed.
Yeah, I definitely feel myself when I smoke. Like, I feel like I'm like, I have so much anxiety before I smoke that like, I can't even like be cool. Like, I can't even be myself, you know? So, yeah.
Does smoking weed help you with your pics? Does it help you like just get in the zone with that?
Yeah, definitely. I will watch a lot of fight podcasts. So I'll just get high and do that all day.
The research.
So, yeah.
Speaking of research, do you watch any porn?
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite performers? Do you have any favorite porn stars that you like?
You.
Yeah.
Do you masturbate?
Wow. Well, I'm friends with his ex-girlfriend, so I don't know if I should answer that.
Okay.
I think she just answered that.
I masturbated to your porn. Is that weird?
That's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, it's like whenever we became friends, like I was just kind of curious.
Well, the porn I watched again. I know it is. I watched this porn with Megan Rain because she's like my favorite porn star. So it's like anything with Megan, I'm gonna fucking masturbate to. Like that's when I come to the quickest. So you're just kind of there, and I was
just the meat stick, just there existing.
Bella too, because I met her at my very first avian that I went to. Whenever she was so nice. Yeah, she was so nice, and my ex-boyfriend actually was like a fan of her or whatever. So we waited forever in her line, and then
the big ass, right? Like, yeah,
big ass.
And she was just like I was taking pictures for him and everything, you know. And she's like, "No, come here." So I was like, I like you. You know,
being in the OnlyFans industry versus like also working with MMA, which crowd, like, do you think porn stars are nicer, MMA people are nicer? Like,
I definitely feel like porn stars are super nice. Like, and I feel like that's kind of what helped me with the OnlyFans stuff, was even being exposed into that environment. Because I went to my first AVN, I can't remember what year it was. But like, I just felt so like comfortable and like welcome there. And ever since then, like, I want to go like every year.
Actually, I just remembered I saw you. You were at Avian this year, huh?
Yeah.
So tell us about your Avian experience. What was that like coming back?
I had a lot of fun this year. So one of my friends actually got me like a press badge or whatever. So me and my girl were just kind of like going around everywhere, and I just like, I dressed up in lingerie. So
you had something else around your neck that besides the press badge, didn't you? From what I recall.
Wait, what?
You had something else on, right?
Yeah, I had like a collar and like little cuffs. Like I went all out.
Yeah. And, like, I was like, who is that you?
No, I put a wig on too. But they thought I was a porn star for sure. But I loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it. Yeah. They were like all taking pictures. I was twerking on the wall. Like, yeah, it was fun.
So maybe next year, AVN 2024, she might be signing.
Maybe.
Signing
might be just as a performer. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, she's getting exposed. She's like in her feet wet, like okay, like comfortable.
Maybe, but then I like back out.
Okay, so I had heard of AVN for the first time like in December or November, December. Never had heard of it. No one told me. Print out things for like people to take of you.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything.
They give like free vibrators out. Like
I didn't have
like
all
all
kinds
kinds of
for the
cool
fans
stuff.
to take or for anyone coming up to take.
I remember seeing you look like a deer in headlights. Like, what the fuck is this? Because I remember meeting you. You're like, what the fuck? Where am I?
Yeah, I was.
She's like culture shock for sure.
I was like,
people are so friendly there though. So
some are. I did meet one porn star who was not. Actually, I met two who aren't nice.
Yeah,
which is a very intimidating. But I was definitely
expose them.
Maybe they were jealous.
I don't know.
Don't actually. You know what? Don't do it.
No, it'll be.
You can tell me later. You can tell me, and then I'll go talk to him and I'll set.
Who it was.
I forgot. I'll just let me know later. I'll set up show. Yeah.
I will. Well, it's just like one of them was
nice to my friends.
mean to like. I asked her like, "Do you want to be on my TikTok?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Your TikTok?" And I think she asked how many followers I had. I was like 850,000. She's like, "No," and gave me like the most disgusted look. And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like my voice gets really wispy, and I was like, "Okay, bye." And she like didn't say bye, and she just like turned her back to me, and I was like, I had never.
Rude.
It was, but a lot of people in the industry say that she's mean. Like,
Yeah, some people are just like that, like naturally.
Oh, okay.
yeah. And then there was another girl who I've been following for. She actually followed me first on Instagram, and then I followed her back, and then she ended up unfollowing me because I don't think it was cool enough for her. Anyways, I like saw her at AVN, and I'm like, "Oh my god, girl! Like, I'm obsessed with you. Like, you are so fucking hot." And she's like, and I'm like, "You followed me first. Like, you have to know who I am. You followed me
Yeah,
first." Anyways, yeah, I feel like AVN would have been a better experience for me too if I was more there, like not even just like interviewing other girls, but I felt like the booth I was at, they were ushering us like cattle, and I don't like being treated like an object and like less. Like they were like, you need to like stand here and look hot or do this and look hot, and it's just like I wasn't being able to be authentic to who I am, and that's like it's really hard being told I can't be authentic.
yeah.
It's like if I went on my own, it's like I could be, but I wasn't able to be, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, if people are telling me what to do, it definitely doesn't come out the same as if I'm just naturally flirting with it.
It's like my sexual energy burns out really fast if I'm being told what to do, how to look hot, like don't say this to
You're like,
certain people.
like this?
Yeah, like then my face just looks awkward, like I'm constipated.
Yeah, because you're thinking about everything else, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like if I was there just talking to fans the whole time and not just trying to look hot for someone's ego to feel like they were important at the table, it was like I think it would have been a lot better of an experience next year when I go back.
Yeah, I think that's why I had so much fun was like I was like going around everywhere, like, seeing all the people that I see other places.
I've seen you somewhere. I get that. Like wherever I've seen you from.
I definitely had a lot of fun, like being at people's tables, like going to the clubs with the porn stars. Like that was super fucking fun. And like I also liked filming people's YouTubes. That stuff is fun.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of pressure. It's like all pretty lighthearted.
It's not the show and the pony show where you're like prancing around like shit. You actually get to interact and do funny things and skits and
something I felt AVN, and maybe it was in my head because it's like I go back and forth between being like the most secure person ever and feeling really insecure. But I was like, the girls that are having the most guys go up to him are like the hottest of the hot girls. Like I'm not in that category. It's like I'm definitely pretty, but it's like I wasn't wearing like the hottest lingerie. I wasn't like I just wasn't doing any of that stuff. So I'm like, what do I have to put on a show for men to like come up to me? Like I felt like awkward. Like that's not me.
Go shoot ping pong balls at your pussy. Learn that one. That'll get a crowd.
Honestly, like if they played what's it called? Like there was like a cup like this, and they were doing this like right before my pussy. That would be a fun game. Like that would be like frat boy. I would do that.
We could arrange that.
Yeah, we could arrange that for AVN next year. I just also way more prepared. So what kind of content do you shoot on your OnlyFans?
So I'm pretty like I'm not like super in it.
Yeah.
So like I'm pretty much just naked, like twerking, whatever, or like in the shower. Yeah. But I don't really like, I don't know. A lot of people ask for content with me with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I just don't really do that with like casual people. And then like like I said, like my ex before wasn't really like that. So
yeah, like you couldn't use someone who already has a platform as a prop dick.
What do you mean?
Oh, like if someone already has a platform or is well known or is kind of famous,
like another OnlyFans person?
Not even because your partner wasn't in the industry, right? Like he was probably known MMA, I'm guessing.
No.
Well, some industry, he was well known, but like people who are well known in industries, like they can't just have their dick as a prop dick.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
OnlyFans, so it's like that can be hard because it's like
unless they're doing like POV and it's like hidden. Yeah, so I know some like high profile people that they still do with their girl, but it's
I never asked.
Really, but then don't people know that it's their dick?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, I guess it would.
Not.
Yeah, true.
It kind of depends, like if they have like
no face, no case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just never like I never got a single dick pic from him, like ever. Like I just assumed he wasn't like that.
That is such a turn off. I mean, honestly, the guys I've dated didn't want to send me dick pics because they're like, I know you're going to show your friends. And I'm like, I'm telling you I'm going to show my friends. Yeah. I'm not going to do it behind your back.
So if it's small, don't send it because I'm showing everyone.
And they'll join us. Like, I don't know.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I usually tell all my friends, like, oh my God, this is like what I'm fucking. Like, oh my God. Like, I'll hype them up. Like, it should inflate their ego a little bit, but they're like, I don't want your friends to see my dick. Yeah. And I'm like, but I do.
I don't think I would. Yeah,
you don't want your friends to see?
Debatable. Well, like because why? You know, like you're not like unless I was like trying to get her to fuck him with me. Like why?
Just to bragging rights.
I know, but then what if she wants it and then like?
Yeah, because then you're like you're baiting them like, oh, yeah, my boyfriend's got a nice dick, like, she's like, and then she's like, oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, all of a sudden,
she's in the DMs.
Like, no.
Every single one of my girlfriends thinks my type is pretty ugly. So I got pretty lucky that I have a very unique type.
I don't know.
So do guys
maybe I just don't really like trust a lot of women.
Do guys send you dick pics? Does that happen in your DMs? Unsolicited dick pics?
I always say this though, like all my friends get dick pics all the time and I don't. Like I feel like maybe they're like intimidated or something. Like it pisses me off. Like I never get dick pics.
Do you want dick pics?
I do.
Should we tell them that you want dick pics?
Send this girl some dick pics.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's $20 dick pic though. You gotta send her some cash.
Yeah.
And she'll get your rating.
Hand in hand.
Yeah.
Dick pics. Okay, let's go over like what the best dick pics are to get because my type of dick pics is like so far from the crowd. I like it when they like draw on their dicks or put a little bow on it. I'm like,
wait, what?
Who does this?
Like different types.
I put bows.
I love that accurate.
Oh my god!
Like, what can I do to make it better? And I'll be honest, like this is what I want. But because I think like funny dick pics, like I'm turned on because it's funny,
yeah,
and then I'm turned on by the dick. But if they try too hard, it kind of just looks like the.
So you like comedy dick pics?
I love.
You don't like the you like the dude who's putting like the glasses on top of his dick, making making faces and shit, huh?
I didn't know. I get so turned on by that, but I also get turned on by normal dick pics too. It's just like the only 10s out of 10s I give are the ones that put the effort in to make it funny. Like,
so tell us some funny dick pics that you've received. Like, what are some costumes that these dicks have worn?
Okay, well, there's
people want to know.
There's a guy who I told him like, oh, I think it would be funny if you put a bow on it. Blah blah. He didn't have a bow, so he took a bow tie and just like tied it around his dick. And honestly, it makes it look longer. Like if you put it in the right area, it makes it look longer. So I gave that a 10 out of 10. One of them, he put his dick on the beach and he made it look like a sausage. So he like drew hot dog on it and then he drew like a bun over it and a sausage. And that was one of my favorite dick pics ever. There was another one where I think he drew like his dick, like it was like a bunch of other, like he drew other dancing figures in the back and it was like a disco. That was pretty fucking cool.
A disco.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like I didn't know this was a thing.
Or like
I didn't either. It's all new to me. Like you're enlightening us today.
Dude, no.
The Deelz on the trailer.
Make like a whole like album of ones now.
There so many like
started something for me.
It turns like I think it turns me on a lot, but then other girls I talk to are like, Adelia, like don't put this in a guy's head that this is the dick pics that they should be sending because I always tell guys like I am the only one.
I might have to try that out. They're like a funny dick pic. I'm all serious. I'm trying to get like
what if make it look small?
Big. Then you have to be funny.
Yeah, then the funniness works even more.
Yeah, if you're small, you have to be funny because like if you're not big, she's like, oh, that's cute. Like You gotta at least make her laugh.
Yeah.
I do get a lot of guys coming to me for small dick humiliation.
Yeah.
And I do like doing that. I like to humiliate men.
What's the smallest dick you've seen in real life?
I don't even know how small it was. It was probably less than 4 inches. It was okay. I was really drunk, but I remember how it felt, and I couldn't feel it. And what I said is, because we were both really, really drunk, and I was like, "Oh my god, babe! Like, if you have whiskey dick, let's just try again in the morning." It wasn't whiskey dick. That was his fault. I was not trying to be mean. I thought I was being the nicest person by saying we could try again in the morning, like not making him feel embarrassed or whatever. And then I wake up the next morning to him being like, "I wish this slut would just get out of my bed," blah blah blah. And I'm like, wow, like what did I do? And then it all clicked that was actually just the size of his dick.
Yeah.
And that I just could not feel it.
Yeah.
And that, it's just, some dicks I can't feel, but I know other girls who specifically only like small dicks.
I think they're just saying that to be nice, huh?
Maybe, but some girls.
I mean, I'd like small.
Like small dicks at first.
What is small though?
My first 2 relationships were Asian, so I don't really like. I don't know, maybe not that small,
but I don't know how my fingers don't have. I can't.
You have pretty small fingers.
I can't just.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
okay.
5, 4.5, 5.
Okay, 5.
4 to 5.
5 is not bad in my opinion. 5 is okay. I can deal with 5.
What about 12? What about a 10 to 12er?
I'm like, well, how fat is it?
I guess that depends.
Long and skinny, or is
like Red Bull, like Red Bull can, but 10 inches.
I don't know. I'll try.
I'll try. I'll try.
Is it a turn on if guys have that much?
I don't know. I think it just depends on how you're using it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer, Phil.
If a guy has a small dick though, but his he can finger you and eat you out really well, who the fuck cares?
Right. No, see, when I was in love, I feel like those 30 seconds were amazing. It's the intimacy.
So now talking about time, what's a good amount of time to have sex? What's your ideal number, minute wise?
I don't know, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Do you know the average duration of sex?
Isn't it a minute, 2 minutes?
No, the average time's 4.5, 5 minutes.
I was gonna say 5.
Yeah.
Well, also they can have multiple rounds. If they come in 5 minutes, just keep going, man.
Keep going, man. Just keep going.
I feel like
some do though.
Yeah, those are the ones that
was the warm up. I was like, okay.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta
Those are my favorite ones.
You gotta sometimes the first time it's you just gotta get a little load off your chest and then go back in.
Some men are they like to do that on the honeymoon phase, and then they kind of they're like, oh my god, my dick's been really going through it, but then I'm just thinking about dick 24/7. So it's I don't calm down from that honeymoon phase at all. I'm just I want to fuck you 100 times,
yeah.
But I know that they'll never be bored.
She's got the voice in her ear, dick, 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 dick.
That TikTok voice.
Dick, dick, dick.
I've been told a lot that my voice is a boner killer.
Really?
I sound like a Kardashian. That's what they say.
Are you a moaner or are you a screamer? What's your are you very vocal?
I'm very
I've never
vocal.
seen you work, so I don't know. I'm asking.
I'm very, very vocal. I moan. I wouldn't say I scream, but I do. My voice naturally projects a lot. So it's not I'm screaming, but it's this, but louder. And that's
Are you dirty talking or are you just mostly moaning?
Fuck me harder. Fuck. Right there. Speed up.
You're only 125. We need 140.
But yeah, so if I'm not moaning at all, you're doing something wrong. Because it's if I'm enjoying myself, it's I am so vocal. I do remember when my ex was in a frat and he lived in the frat house, he would get messages being yo, we can hear your girl.
Oh, so you were the girl that they could hear down the hall. The whole frat heard you getting fucked.
Well, the whole frat,
Don't guys like that though?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the situation. If you're trying to if you're staying living with your parents and you're living in your parents' basement, I want the girl to be. I'm put the pillow over her head. I don't live in my parents' basement. Just theoretically speaking.
I don't think he was upset. He was just kind of like, because his friends made fun of him a lot for like dating me because of my Instagram, and like they all kind of thought I was a whore because of my Instagram, and they made fun of me for being like, I wasn't even a sex worker yet, and they're like, yo, this girl's a prostitute, porn star, etc. So it's like, I just think he was kind of, it was all overwhelming for him. He's not like the best guy, but he was just like, whatever, let's just go to your place tonight.
Yeah, well, all his friends probably wanted to fuck you.
Maybe. A lot of them have hit me up after. I do remember my senior year after we broke up, there was like a guy in his frat who was flirting with me, and he went up to him and like slapped him, and I was like, well, I'm definitely fucking you now. And then I did.
And I did.
Well, okay, this guy, my ex said so many bad things, but this guy said a lot of like racist stuff to this guy. I just didn't know about it till way after we broke up, but it's like at that point I was already in love.
Yeah.
Like once you're in that stage, it's so hard to be like, he's such a bad person.
Of course.
Get out of that. Yeah. But now I feel like I'm good. Have you had relationships like that where you're like, you're just so in love at first, they're great at first, and then like the more you get to know them, the more you see like a lot of toxic behaviors, and you're like, fuck.
For sure. My last ex, I went to this party where we were like, you know, we're all trying to get back on our shit, like our OnlyFans stuff, just have more whatever sexy content and stuff. So we have this whole girls event, whatever, like, and it's like one of my best friends. So I haven't shot in like so long. I've just been inside and everything. So I think I'm gonna, you know, feel better because it's all girls and
yeah,
it's somewhere that I'm comfortable. And 2 girls that showed up knew my ex. And mind you, he's not even from here. So the obvious answer when we were dating was always that he was a cheater, but I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it.
That's how this guy was. A girl came up to me when I was like first started hanging out with him in Cabo, and she's like, he's not a good person. And I'm like, and he even told me, I've cheated on every one of my exes, but I feel like you're really special. They were like,
of course.
And I was like, I am special. No, he cheated on he still cheats on his current girlfriend.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. I'm like, how do 2 girls at this place know you?
Yeah.
And like one of them, how I found out actually was that she came up to me and she's like, oh yeah, I know your ex or whatever. Oh, she didn't say I know your ex, she said his name. And I was like, how do you know my ex? And she goes, oh, I knew you guys were talking. And I was like, no, that was my man. We were together this whole past year. And she was like, oh yeah, I saw him post your, like he was shouted out my pic page and like tagged me or whatever. And so she knew who I was, but I didn't know who she was. So I was like, oh, when was this? She goes into her album and shows me a picture with the time, date, whatever like that of him and her on a date. He was wearing the same fucking outfit that he took me on a date with. So I said, hold up. I go in my album. Sure enough, he took her on a date the day before, me on the date the next day, and wore the same exact outfit.
Wow, I would do that though.
Damn.
I was like,
that's some fuckboy shit
so
right there.
Fucked up.
That's some fuckboy shit.
The only thing I'll give to him was the fact that she was fucking gorgeous. So I was like, I don't hate you because you're hot as fuck. But I
think the best revenge is fucking the girl he cheated on you with. So if you're by
her,
if you're by
I would fuck her
fuck up.
It's funny because we're complete opposites though.
Yeah.
You know, like I have a real butt, real tits, whatever. Like he liked me very natural and always was like, talk to me about how like he loved that. Like I don't have my nails done, all the kind of shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. And she was the complete opposite. Huge fake ass, huge fake tits, fake literally everything, but obviously perfect, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just like, it's funny how the whole time he told me that's not what he likes. And
that's how it goes. You know? What I will say is a lot of guys can see themselves fucking girls like that. And I'm a girl like that. So I'm saying this about myself. But then they see themselves dating like the natural girls. But I do think guys who think that way, it's just like a lot of misogyny. I don't know.
Well, joke is on him though, because he thought I was like such a good girl and everything. But really?
So what are your red flags with guys? If you start talking to a guy, what are some red flags that you look for that you like?
I don't like guys who have been with anybody that I know. You know, I don't like picturing my dude with anybody else unless...
That's hard in Vegas, huh?
Yeah, it is so hard. It's literally every guy that I even try to talk to for 5 seconds either turns out being a pimp or has fucked like 4 or 5 of my friends.
I've never met a pimp.
Oh my gosh. So
do you think
I'm on the dating phase? my like type of men has changed since my ex, and I hate it because it seems like I'm always attracted to the pimps, and they just be finding me, like, you know, and I'm like, oh, they have nice clothes, they have a nice car, they got their chains on, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, are you a pimp? And they're like, no, I'm an investor.
Invest in that.
And I show my girls, they're like, oh no, he's a pimp. He's a pimp. And I was like,
Pimpin' and easy, as they say.
Don't respond. But like a lot of girls, I feel like in Vegas get stuck into like the pimp thing because they fall in love with the pimp.
Yeah,
and it's like a pimp relationship.
Yeah, it's like it's called like a lover boy sex trafficking method. So it's what Andrew Tate just got convicted of, because it's like they manipulate these girls, these like vulnerable girls, to like falling in love with them, and then they have girls do free work for them. They don't let the girls leave. Like the girls are totally under their control. But then these men are like, I'm not sex trafficking these girls. These girls are in love with me and they're willingly doing this. And it's like, yeah, but like you're using manipulation, you're using scare tactics. A lot of the time they'll get abusive later on. Yeah. They're not abusive at first,
of course,
but it's like as time goes on, it's like the girls just can't physically leave. They'll cut them off from their parents, delete numbers on their phone. It's like there's so many things that make the girls have to stay.
Yeah, and then they're like lost whenever they try to leave them, and then they just go back.
Yeah, I mean, look at even R. Kelly. Like, you know, there was a huge documentary about him, and it's like he 100% used the lover boy method with all of those girls, like in the dungeons and stuff like that. And there were some girls that, like, you know, they're
still by his side.
Yeah. Like I remember watching the documentary, and there was like this girl's parents, like,
weren't they?
Yeah, and it's like when she saw her parents. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. Creepy. But then these men are like, these girls deserve it. They're objects. Like they're not as smart as us, and that's why we can get away with it. Yeah. But like, I think just growing up as a woman, we're taught that we're not complete without a man. We are not enough without a man. So having to feel enough without a man it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot more work than a man feeling enough without a woman, just because like we're taught that we need one.
Yeah. I mean, I think women are just naturally submissive whenever they, you know, are into a guy. Like even my last relationship, he never asked me to not do OnlyFans. He never asked me to stay in the house and, you know, do all those things. But I just did it because I felt like I should do it. You know what I mean? To give my all to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't blame anybody who is in those situations. I have a lot of people who are, and they're good people and they're smart women and everything like that. And they are still independent in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Besides that little part, you know? But it's not like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, like they know the situation they're in and they've just kind of accepted it. And I just always encourage my people to always like have another way out, not to just rely on that, you know?
Yeah. Do you guys think that cheaters change?
No. Rarely.
I
think maybe like 90% of the time there's always going to be like somebody or something that could make them go back. I do think they could try to be good for a while.
I think it takes a lot of like work on themselves.
Yeah.
Because also a lot of cheaters could easily just tell girls like, I want an open relationship, and they could find girls who are down for that. But a lot of men who cheat want the woman to only be loyal to them, but they want to be able to do what they want.
That's usually the mix up is guys want that, but if it's their girl fucking another guy, that's where they're like, oh. That's usually the power dynamic, because they can't deal with it. But it's cool if they fuck other girls.
Also, I'll call this out on my podcast because I don't care about being fucking controversial, but I've listened to clips of Adam 22's podcast. Like, he doesn't even want Lena talking about her exes in front of him, and he fucks other girls with her and without her, and there's all these allegations, and that's why I unfollowed you, Adam. I'll be controversial. Oh yeah, does this make you feel awkward?
It's all good.
But yeah, I've heard enough things about him to know like he's one of those guys who like messages girls, but Lena, God forbid, can't message other guys.
I don't know their relationship.
Okay, this is like from his podcast.
Yeah.
Like where he's like, Lena, don't talk about your exes. Like, I don't want to think about another dick in you. Meanwhile, she watches him fuck other girls.
So she never fucks any other guys? They only fuck girls?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Just I get it for threesomes, like if you're both into it, but it's also like if you can't talk about your ex-boyfriends or like ex-dicks that you've had inside of you, it just feels like controlling and almost like an object.
Yeah.
Or like that's how he views her. I don't know, my opinion. Anyways.
What are some other red flags that you see in guys before you date them? What do you look for?
When they're bad tippers. Like, I absolutely hate when a guy doesn't know how to take care of.
Because then you can tell he's cheap. You're like, oh, it's on first date. He's not tipping well. He's like, he's not tipping her. It
turns me off so much because my whole life I've always worked in places where I'm working for tips. You know, whether it's restaurant or cocktailing or, you know, whatever. And I always, anytime a person's tipped me, I always think they're just a piece of shit. So, dude, why would I want to date somebody who's like that, you know?
People don't know with Uber Eats. This is just going to be a disclaimer. Before I was an Uber Eats driver, I'm like, oh, Uber Eats is already so expensive. I didn't know that you had a tip. And then I became an Uber Eats driver. And then I realized, oh my God, the service fee that I'm paying doesn't go to that.
Yeah.
Like they might make like a third of it.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. And then I felt so bad. So I always tip like 15, 20, like a good person because that's so bad of me.
Yeah.
But people don't know.
Even like Uber driving, like a lot of people don't tip on Ubers. And I mean, I can't say I tip every single time because sometimes the driver, like, it just depends.
Yeah.
You know, but most of the time I do.
1,000%. Like at least 15, 20, 25%.
It's pretty much like a cab, but in their own car.
Exactly.
Yeah, so all the money. So.
Yeah.
I didn't tip the Uber yesterday who was saying like...
Did you give him, how many stars did you give?
1.
1 star?
I gave him 1 star.
Did you comment too?
I said he clearly hates women. The comment.
I had a really smelly Uber driver yesterday, so I wanted to make a review, but I almost never leave reviews.
Yeah.
I just like forget, and then I'm like, all right, whatever. It's not that serious, you know?
I usually only leave one when it's a bad one, and then I'm like, fuck, okay, so I gave 1 bad review for just karmic reasons, and I'm like, okay, the next Uber I have to write a good review for. If they're good, like, I'll say what I liked about them, so then it balances out.
Yeah.
And then you ended up getting like a bad review. You're drunk in the car, threw up, 1 star.
I've only had like my years of having Uber. My Lyft is 4.9 stars. My Uber is like 4.85. There's only one time
you still do that?
Oh, no, not being a driver. No, just my.
You get ratings as a rider.
Yeah, as a rider.
You know how you can rate the driver. The drivers can rate you too.
I wonder what my rating.
I actually have friends. Like I'm sure you guys know people that are like banned from Uber, like had bad ratings.
Well, the only reason I had 1 bad rating, or I mean, I probably had a few like 4 stars, 3 stars, whatever, because I have like 4.85. But one of my first bad reviews is this lady said I puked in her car, but it was in the back seat. So I had to submit proof. Like, thank God I was so active on Snapchat back then because I had a video of me in the Uber where I was in the front seat. No one was in the back. She gave me a bad rating and then tried to charge me for the throw up. And I'm like,
it's like a $250 cleanup fee.
Yeah, and I was pissed because I'm like, I was in the front seat.
Once. It happened, but I don't think I got caught for it, to be honest.
Should we pull out our Ubers and see what our ratings are?
Yes.
I'm curious. I haven't looked at it.
I literally just looked this morning.
I know mine 5 stars.
Let's see. I wonder if you can go and see if there's. I don't think I've had any bad marks. I know.
But I want to know what people say.
4.85.
That's okay.
How do I find out?
So you go to your home account.
Oh, I got 4.93.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Period. No, I'm telling you, I always take care of my Uber drivers. Well, not always, but most of the time. And I usually put my headphones in, so I don't bother them.
Yeah.
But if I do, like, talk with them, then I'm nice.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I have a lot of Uber drivers who have been creepy. Have you ever been groped by an Uber driver?
So this one time I was really drunk, actually, and I was falling asleep. I don't know why I sat on the front seat, but I sat on the front seat, and I woke up to him going like this to my hair, like putting my hair behind my ear. And I was like, no, don't touch me. Like, what the fuck? And then, like, I was, like, trying to stay awake, but I was really fucked up. So I kept, like, nodding out, waking up. Finally, I was at my house. He's like, you want me to walk you to your door? And I was like, no.
No.
The fuck?
He's trying to be nice.
That was weird. So it was the hair behind my ear thing. I was like, yeah. Like, I immediately woke up. Like,
so me and my friend, like, she was visiting me in college, and she ordered this Lyft for, like, Halloween parties. I had already taken my ecstasy. I was in the car. I was coming up a little bit. And then she asked him, like, hey, if we if I let you touch my boobs, can we get this right for free? And he said sure. So he touched her boobs that she consented to, and then afterwards he grabbed mine, and I like immediately like grabbed his hand, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he did like a quick grab, and then I felt so, and I was like, at least the ecstasy's kicking in, so I won't even think about that. But it's like I couldn't.
Creepy.
It was creepy too. It's like she already let him touch her boob. Why was he greedy and wanting to touch mine?
Yeah, this isn't a free for all.
It was, and I was like that, and I wanted to report him so bad, but it was on her Uber, and she's like, no, I don't think you should make a big deal out of it. And I'm like, I make a big deal out of everything. Yeah. Don't tell me not to.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either.
Clearly, I'm not friends with her anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Put you in that situation.
And you know what's funny?
And then she didn't take responsibility.
No, and then all of the photos that she had with me, she ended up changing my tag to horror.
Oh my God.
Sounds like a great friend.
It was really fun friend.
I would have laughed about that one though. That one's kind of
the horror. Oh, it was fucking funny. Like she was always pissed. Like she would tell me to be mean to people that I didn't want to be mean to. If she didn't like a person, she didn't like people that her ex-boyfriend would hook up with or date after her. And it's like, y'all are broken up. Like you shouldn't care about this. And I was friends with her ex-boyfriend years before her. I knew her ex-boyfriend since kindergarten. She'd be like, you can't be friends with this new girlfriend. And I'm like, I only know you because of him.
Yeah.
It's like, I know we're good friends, but me and him are good friends. And she's like, you're a fake friend for not being mean to her. And I'm like, this is a fucking middle school.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't like you were like going and being like BFF.
I mean, I was definitely friends with her, but it's like, I was friends with him since kindergarten.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? I went to college with him.
Well, I mean, the girl didn't do anything to her. So.
No. Like, he lied to her, the girl, because he cheated on my friend with her.
Yeah.
And then he told her, oh no, like we were never together. You know, kind of like that lying stuff. And then they started dating, and then he cheated on her too. So happened.
Scandalous.
Anyways, thank you so much for coming on.
Sure.
What are your plugs? Like Instagram, like should I start saying what should I say? Handles? What are your handles? I feel like people get confused when I say plug yourself.
Yeah.
Profiles.
I have Pua Shiesty for Instagram.
Can you spell that for everyone?
PUA SHIESTY.
Pua Shiesty.
Sorry, I'm like, if I'm not writing it down, I'm like trying to picture it in my head.
Yeah,
word by word. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. You can find me at itsdeelz.com.
And you can find me at Spencer Michael Barrick on Instagram. On Twitter, I am the Damon Dice. And if you want to find the freaky shit, go to my OnlyFans at Damon Dice 8.
Yay!
See ya!